Hi everyone. This is my review for Trick or Treat. See that? Trick or Treat. Now, Trick or Treat, it was released in 2009 on DVD, I believe. Yeah, 2009, but it was made in 2007. But it sat on shelves, not released into theaters and went straight to video. Sat on the shelf, not released for 2 years, I believe. Yeah. And right off the bat, this is the best. Um, this is the best presentation of Halloween I've ever seen, of the holiday Halloween on film. The way it's represented in the movie, captures the atmosphere very well. Has the spirit of Halloween very well. Um, it deals with the traditions of Halloween, the honoring the dead, the the jack o' lanterns, the costumes, the candy, everything this makes you think of Halloween is shown in this movie, and it's shown well. Um, the story, it's like a wraparound story. Like the stories are intertwined. They're intertwined. They're not separate stories, but they're different stories, but they're going on different times, all intertwined, like Pulp Fiction in a way, something like that. And some of the actors are Anna Paquin, and Anna Paquin she's in True Blood. Brian Cox, he's the old man you see right there. He's been in a lot of films. The director is Michael Dougherty, and he also wrote it. He wrote the script as well. And the DVD says best horror anthology in years. And I definitely agree that it is one of the best. I haven't seen a movie like this in a while. There hasn't been a movie made like this in a while. And something that's in the vein of like Creepshow, the movie's Creepshow, and the show Tales from the Crypt, stories of horror. Like Tales from the Hood is another good one. And the stories of Trick or Treat, there's like four four different things going on at the same time on Halloween. One involves a crazy principal played by Dylan Baker, I believe, and he poisons candy to kids, and he carves heads out of the kids, carves a jack o' lantern out of the kids' heads that he poisons with the candy because he's really into the Halloween spirit, and he punishes the kid who smashes the jack o' lanterns because he loves jack o' lanterns and he loves Halloween. It's a crazy principle, but I guess he also hates the kids. But he has a son, and his son, he's also turning his son into a crazy lunatic like himself. And then there's this group of girls who are getting their costumes at a Halloween store. And they're going off to a party for the night. But one of the girls is real shy. She's real like she's she's not the real outgoing type from the rest of the girls. and she goes off alone to try to meet someone, maybe find a date or a guy she likes, because I believe she's a virgin or something, or so they make it seem like she's a virgin. They make it seem like she's a virgin in that way, but it's something else, and I'll get to that. And then there's this other story that's like a Goosebumps. It's like a Goosebumps story in a way. Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. If you remember, you read the books when you were a kid, like I did. I read the books when I was a kid, and the story. It's about a urban legend or tale where the bus driver was paid off money to deal with these kids that were in special ed on Halloween. He drove them. He drove the bus off a rock cliff into this watery grave, and these young kids who are about like 14, 15-year-olds, they all get together, and one of them's a dorky, kind of the outcast witch. She's dressed as a witch, and the other kids decide to play a mean prank, mean-spirited Halloween prank on the witch girl, and they scare her, and then the dead spirits of the kids who could died in that terrible uh, bus tragedy, those spirits actually come back from the dead and get those kids in revenge. But the witch girl, she wanders off and she makes it alone. The other kids beg her to open the gate to 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 help them get away from the spirits, but she lets them suffer, and she leaves them down there on this elevator shaft. She leaves them down there on this elevator. She rises up on the elevator and she takes off. And there's also, let's see, another story that's going on at the same time is about an old man who's very cruel and mean. And he doesn't like anything of Halloween. He doesn't celebrate it or anything. All he does is he just puts a mask or scary costume, puts a mask, a scary costume on a dog, and he scares little kids who come trick-or-treating at his door, and he doesn't give out candy or anything. And he's real mean to his neighbor, and his neighbor happened to be the principal guy that I mentioned earlier, the crazy principal, his neighbor. And earlier the principal told him happy Halloween, and the old man just said screw you. And then later on, the old man gets visited by this trick-or-treat demon called Sam, I believe. Now Sam is like the protector and guardian of Halloween tradition, and he's there, and he's like a spirit or a demon, I'm not sure which, but he punishes anyone who hasn't been following or honoring the Halloween traditions, like putting out pumpkins, leaving pumpkins out, and giving out candy, and dressing up and just being in the Halloween spirit, celebrating it, honoring it, and respecting it. He punishes whoever doesn't. And he pays a visit to the old man, and he torments the old man, he injures the old man shoots him with the fucking shotgun, and it doesn't do anything. His wounds come back together. He heals, the trick-or-treat demon heals. Sam seems to not be able to be stopped, and he's about to kill the old man, but he stabs a piece of candy instead. And then he scares the old man almost half to death, and then Sam realizes that maybe the old man has learned his lesson. Maybe I can let him live. Maybe he'll change his ways. And surely enough, After Sam decides to leave and give the old man a break, the old man gives out some candy, starts giving out candy, while the trick-or-treat demon now pays his attention to a nearby couple who live in the neighborhood and decides to punish the girl who decides to get rid of the pumpkin, the decorations that are outside their house. And it turns out later that the old man's visited by ghosts, where the ghosts had killed the kids in the other story. And those ghosts, they look creepy. I mean, not creepy for me, but they look pretty good with the costumes and makeup and everything. And turns out the old man was actually the bus driver who drove the bus off the cliff and disappeared for years. And those teenage girls, they happen to be werewolves. Yeah, they were werewolves, and they were finding victims to go to their party, guys, particular, I guess, because they lure in guys with their beautiful looks and their appearances. And Anna Paquin, she's dressed as Little Red Riding Hood, and she's on her way to meet back up with her sisters or friends. I'm not sure which they were. And she's followed by this vampire, or seems to be a vampire. And it turns out it's the principal. He's been killing young girls because he's a psychopath. He kills not only trick-or-treating kids, but also young, attractive girls, women. And then she brings him to where the other girls are. There's this crazy scene where the girls they reveal themselves to be werewolves, and it's a well done sequence where the girls rip their skins off. They take their skins off, their flesh, and they reveal the hair of the werewolves and everything, and the jaws, the wolf face, and everything. It's well done, animatronic, I believe, practical effects. Practical effects, they rock, and I love them. So this movie doesn't really have any CGI at all. It's pretty much practical, the old school way. And if it does have CGI, it's very little CGI, and you don't really notice it too much. You don't really notice the CGI that much. Pretty much practical, old school, good effects. And the actors are good. The atmosphere captures Halloween. It captures Halloween best. It even captures Halloween better than the actual movie Halloween with Michael Myers. Because this really pays attention to the spirit. I mean, it captures the atmosphere. It deals with the traditions, everything of Halloween. The DVD has a small film it's an animated film of Sam. It's what drew the inspiration for this movie. Michael Dougherty, he created Sam, and this is a really great film to watch, especially during Halloween. And it's a shame it didn't get released in the theater, because it definitely deserved to be in the theater. And I really hope that they can do, hopefully, a sequel to this, because I'd love to see more stories that take place during Halloween and that deal with character Sam, because he's a really good horror creation, a really good horror villain in a way, yeah. And this movie, it deserves to get some recognition. It deserves recognition, and I'm proud to have it in my collection. and if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it to you. So check it out, Trick or Treat. Thanks for listening and watching, and take care. Take it easy.